love them grits. Guns raised in the South, you see I'm after the club at the Waffle House. I love them grits. Guns raised in the South, think it's fuck and they quick to run their mouth. I love them grits, 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 grits. I love them grits, 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 grits.
Hi, how you doing? If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is a follow update video. I'm doing this follow-up video because I'm happy. I'm really happy. On November 30th last week, former Dallas officer Amber Geiger indicted for murder and deadly shooting case. I said that shit. In charge with manslaughter because she is a police officer, yes, that says she went into an apartment, yes, that was open, yes, unarmed. They're going by her words now. And even with her words, she is still being charged with manslaughter. So when they find the truth, what you think she's going to be charged with? A higher charge. I called it September. I think that video said September the 12th. That's when I called it. And I said that her charges will be upgraded to murder. Okay. A Dallas County grand jury indicted former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger for the murder on Friday in the fatal shooting of Botham Jean. Geiger has claimed she mistakenly entered John's apartment believing it was her own and shot what she believed was an intruder the night of September the 6th at Southside Flats. Although she was arrested for manslaughter, the grand jury had the ability to keep the charge, change it to murder, or not charge her at all. The grand jury had heard from witnesses on Monday and Wednesday and reviewed evidence in the case and made a decision on Friday. I look forward to the next step, which is the conviction of murder of Amber Geiger, says Allison John, mother of Botham, who added that she wants the proper penalty that will cause her to reflect on the pain she has caused. I know my wig's in up here look a hot mess, but I don't care. It's such a hard thing to go through, said Botham Jean, Botham's father. We miss our boy dearly. He didn't deserve that. Dallas County DA Faith Johnson said her officer spoke to over 300 witnesses, did lab testing, and presented it to the grand jury this week after months of work. What I tell y'all, we did a full, complete presentation to the grand jury, she said. Johnson will not give details of the secret grand jury proceedings, but says physical evidence and witness testimony convinced jurors it was a case of murder and not manslaughter. Johnson said that there is equal justice in Dallas County for everyone. She said most officers are good, but in these cases we're talking about bad cops that go out their way to do things against the law. Johnson estimated it would be more than a year before Geiger's case heads to trial. John's family and their attorneys waited at the Frank Crowley Courts building all week. They called anything less than a murder indictment unacceptable and was happy at the result. This is groundbreaking, but it's also just a start, says Lee Merritt, John's family attorney. Merritt said he and the other attorneys believe the facts are consistent with murder. The attorneys and family members didn't want a lower charge against Geiger, just to improve the odds in court. Geiger's attorney, Robert Rogers, believes she should not be charged. Of course, nigga. He says she believed the grand jury was swayed by more than facts and think political pressures played a role in the murder indictment. Bitch, y'all is not finna go there with that bullshit. Real shit. I'm not surprised the grand jury came out with indictment. Really? So why you not surprised? There's an outpouring of vindication emotions that been building up. There was a lot of political pressure that seemed to play a role in how the DA handled this. Rogers said, "You was a bitch ass boy." And when it's an officer involved shooting, it goes to the special. It's like a special unit, special case. I'm not really sure the term for it, but it goes to a special agency inside. She took it out. Like, no, y'all ain't even investigating this, because we all know. People know how to cover up stuff. And when it's a police officer, police really do know how. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to tell y'all what they reported to me. That's why she moved the case to the Texas Rangers. So at that time, it was out of her hands. The warrant was issued because it's an initial Dallas police investigation. And the Dallas police concluded it was manslaughter that day. But it was taken out of their hands and given to the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers decided, because think about this, they handed the case to the Texas Rangers. It's a new case to them. Even though the Dallas police and already did the initial investigation, and it was determined manslaughter then. That's why she gave it to the Texas Rangers. It could have been manslaughter, and she could have gave it to the special unit to investigate it. The police officers. She did. Use a whole hoe, and I said it. I don't know what happened in the grand jury, but I believe emotions was injected into that might have led to the grand jury astray from just focusing on the law and the evidence. It's an indictment. It doesn't mean anything. Really, bitch? It's an indictment. It don't mean nothing. Say that shit in trial. Say that shit to the jury when they be out working away from their family because of yo. Boy, shut up. This hasn't been tried in a fair forum yet. So we get to a fair forum in front of 12 dispassionate citizens. I believe the law and evidence will show Amber Geiger is innocent. That's why I said on Facebook her trial should be moved. And I'm going to tell you why. The mayor of Dallas and the city manager are at odds. The city councilmen or somebody, they are at odds about the way this case is being handled. The mayor is for the case. Mayor. Election. He is for this case because he know you can't turn a blind eye when the police chief and the DA have been very vocal about the BS of this case. I don't give a fuck. Her trial should be moved. In fact, all the evidence, I think, will show that Geiger made a mistake, and when she was in that position, that she was justified in the action she took, Rogers says. John, 26, was a native of Caribbean islands of St. Lucia and was working in Dallas for an accounting firm. Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall says her department feels the anguish about this difficult and tragic event. The chief outlined some of her policy changes. She supports reconstructing the Citizen Review Board, expanding bias training for officers, and taking input from employees in the community. Chief Hall was previously criticized for waiting more than 2 weeks to fire Geiger. That wasn't her. Geiger turned herself in on Friday on new murder charges and released about an hour later on $200,000 bond. She was asked to surrender her passport and is now allowed to leave Texas without the permission of the permission of a judge. I told you. The thing about this case, and when it all boils down to black and white, literally black and white. I said in my last video, them black women tired. They tired. They are police chiefs, the police chiefs, and she's a DA. But guess what? They are women first, and they are black women. And not only that, just like she the chief and she the DA, baby. Number one, that mean they 4-5 times better than they motherfucking counterparts. Because that's the case, they wouldn't even have the positions that they have. Oh, my mom. They wouldn't. To be honest, at this rate, because I live in Dallas County, and I have sat in a courtroom doing a murder trial. I don't know. And that's why I'm biased about it. But I knew her charges would be upgraded. Once I looked into that story and I seen everything and I heard that DA and I heard that chief, I knew, and I said it. So, we haven't got justice. I take that back. His family has not got justice. But it's a nice start. Now, we'll go on from here. Y'all, to be honest, I don't know. But it's a nice start.